What's up, you guys? We are back at the Greens Pod. Welcome with our guest right here, Laksmi Revilla.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. We're going to kick things off with a little bong rip. You guys know how it is here at the Greens Pod. Today, we are seshing on Claiborne. Let's see what we're seshing on today. It actually smelled really good. Cherry Hearts. This is hybrid by Claiborne. I've always been a fan of their marketing. Shout out to Marlene. More on her and this brand later. But first, we're going to kick it off with a little bong rip. What are you smoking on, Laxmi?
Cheers. I actually have my rosin pen that I brought over from Hawaii. So this is completely Hawaiian grown. It's rosin and yeah, that's what I brought with me.
Ooh, I love that hardware. I've been seeing that hardware more often.
Yeah.
And I think it's displacing anything with coils, right? I believe that doesn't have coils.
Honestly, I don't know much about the hardware, but I do know that for rosin, they use this like glass tip a little bit more frequently than the regular vapes.
It's all about the taste, right?
Yeah, but I was feeling some rosin tonight.
Well, there you go. Cheers to
Cheers,
you.
babe.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Bit.
Okay, Claiborne. Love that. Love that. No, I mean, I'm an OG girly. I can't help it.
OGs?
Like, born and raised in LA, when I first started smoking, it was OGs. And when I think about core stoner memories, it goes back to like the first hit of like an OG when it goes to the back of your throat and you're just like, like, or when you feel like you're going to be high in 5 minutes where you're just like, there it is. It's coming. Wait for it, you guys.
Yeah.
It's on its way. Do you have those core memories?
I do, but my core memories with weed were probably like the Pretendo days. Do you remember the Pretendo like $5 sacks?
Oh my God, $5 sacks.
The $5 sacks.
What can you get for $5 nowadays?
It was the $5 Pretendo. What was the other one? Honestly, it wasn't until I started having some like really good Bubba Kush that I actually started to love weed, because before that it was like a love-hate. Like I like it, but I don't really like it. And obviously I wasn't smoking the good quality stuff, but Bubba Kush is probably what made me like really like on a more connoisseur level to smoke cannabis. So,
really?
Yeah.
When tell me about that a little bit. So first, I want to introduce you to the Greens Pod community.
Yes.
So I be knowing Laxmi, the industry knows Laxmi. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit snippet, and a little bit about what you do.
A little bit about myself. I am first generation Mexican American. So my mom and my dad are both from Mexico City, and my mom actually moved here while she was pregnant with my first sister. Very crazy. And so I grew up in East LA, Boyle Heights. I got into cannabis a little bit later in my life when I was like about 27, 26. And prior to cannabis, I thought that I wanted to do like the regular 9 to 5, get a career, go get a job type lifestyle. And it was never like fitting for me to not be able to like fully express myself the way that I have in being in this industry. Like I feel like the industry itself has completely taken me in and has like really just polished me up to be the best version of myself, not only in business, but like the plant, the medicinal side of it, and just all of it together. I feel like it was just like a meant to be kind of relationship that I have with the industry, with the plant, and with the business.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
that makes sense.
No, it does. I think that what I take from what you just said is kind of like serendipitous a little bit. Kind of like you fought against it because you weren't sure, but then it kept pulling you in a little bit, right?
Yeah, I thought that I was supposed to do like the regular work stuff.
Yeah.
And I just kept getting pulled more towards this like calling of wanting to be more involved. How do I explain it? Yeah, like you said, I guess you said it perfectly. It kept luring me in, and it was more of a calling. And it was the first time in my life that I felt like I could be myself in a job or in a workspace, or even like the conversations that I wanted to have with people. They weren't like limited. I didn't feel like I was in a box. I felt like I was finally in a place where I could just be myself.
Right. But also, I think it speaks to maybe your personality traits and also your skill set, right? Because you're a master broker. You are a sales professional in the field.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of sales professionals, myself included, we tend to be quite gregarious, right? We can carry on a conversation and then boom, we sold you something. Sorry, it just happened. Do you feel that your personality and your skills are being put in a place that you feel is home with cannabis?
Yes, absolutely. And I love how you just said that so perfectly. I feel like you've explained it better than I ever thought I could. It's very natural. It's very genuine. It's a space where people feel naturally capable of trusting me. And they trust me because when I speak from a place of passion and knowledge and excitement. And those qualities are not only contagious, but they're magnetic.
Yeah.
And those are not only the most powerful types of sales, but like the most like what is it? What's the word when something is like influential, right? Like it's been an influential career for me to see. Like we're selling, but we're also like making change at the same time. And it's like, how many industries can you say that you're doing that, right? You're selling, yes, you're making the money, but you're also like creating community and change, and you're helping people. And there's like so many more things that are born from those sales.
Right.
I don't know if you could relate to that, but I'm sure you can. You know what
absolutely.
I'm saying? Like,
I think one takeaway I take from what you said is also like, it's not just about the sale, right?
Yeah.
It's the relationships.
Yes.
Because in order to get that sale, you have to put in the work and you have to show yourself. And how do you build trust in sales? By showing who you are and by it panning out the way that you said it was, right? That's how you build that sales trust of like, hey, buy this product because it's going to sell for you and that's going to make you money. And then when that works, you're like, I'm going to buy everything you have. And I think that that's along the lines of the trust that you've built with Dolce Packs. Can you tell us a little bit about Dolce Packs and the journey towards building that business?
So Dolce Packs was kind of born on its own, to be honest, because when I started the distribution side of things, it was just kind of like a nickname that I gave because people were having such a hard time saying my real name. And I was just like, yeah, Dolce, just say Dolce. And then it just kind of like over time, people would actually recognize me with that name, and people would look for me through that name. Like, yo, do you know a girl? Yeah, like, yo, do you know a girl named Dolce? And it was reaching to me, and I was like, wait, people are actually like
calling me that,
remembering me by that, and looking for me by that name. Then holy hell, like I've created something. Like something was born from this nickname that it just kind of I just kept seeing how like it was growing and growing. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run with it. I liked the idea of Dolce, like dulce, something a little bit more boutique-y, fun and girly, but at the same time professional. So I was like, it fits all the boxes.
But also at the same time, very weed, very like, because Dolce is very, for me, Dolce gives kind of like a sweetness, a femininity
I love
to
that.
it.
Yeah.
But then Packs is like, no,
you got the Packs.
We got Packs too.
Yeah.
And so I love that you really encompass that fully. So I think that, Dolce Packs, I think with every entrepreneurial journey, it's never all at once, right? It's always a journey. So I kind of want to talk a little bit more about like when you entered the journey and then also touch a little bit about when we met. So you talk about like entering around the industry in around 25, 26. Did you go straight into sales, or how was that experience for you?
No, so I'll make the long story a little shorter, but basically I was, like I said earlier, working a 9-to-5 job, living paycheck to paycheck. And I was just like, man, this can't be it. Like, I need more money. I needed a side hustle. So I found a trimming job on Craigslist for a collective in West Hollywood. They were one of the first dispensaries to go rec. So they were like right in that gray zone of like, for me, coming from a 9-to-5, I was like, well, this can't be too taboo. This has to be like, it was like, that bridge of like, feeling a little bit more comfortable of getting into the space. I was like, okay, like this, how bad could this be, or how taboo can it be to work in the space? And so I was trimming for about 5 months. And eventually that led to me working on like the floor as a bud tender at the time. It was a very hands-on job. You would like cut the nugs, you would weigh it, it was very interactive at the time.
Not anymore. Now you can't touch the buds.
You can't touch it, you can't see it. The flower, I think's been there for weeks at a time. Ours was fresh off the back harvest. Like, this just got cut yesterday.
Right.
You know, just it was such a different experience. And I think that interactiveness made me just like fall head over heels for the business and just for everything. I was like, I would look forward to go to work the next day.
Yeah.
You know, like, how many people can say that? I was like excited about going into the grow, smelling the plants, cutting the plants, and then being able to discuss with the patients the experience of the garden. And just like that also just like kind of had a snowball effect of like how it grew from the trimming experience.
Yeah. I love that you started in trimming because you got to work, you know, with the plant, you know, and then going straight to consulting with patients on finding the right plant for you. So I think that it's definitely a great entry point, I would say, you know. And I think for those of you out there that are looking to get in the cannabis industry, don't think about, oh, I'm just going to go straight into like an executive role. Yes, you may be there in your career, but I would really like advocate for trying out trimming or bud tending. If you start out your career journey with those two right there, you can take it anywhere you want, but you'll have the fundamental of community, respect for the plant, and I think touching it. You have to, if you're going to work in this industry, touch the plant. Yeah. Right? I think you have to build connection to it.
No, absolutely. Even just like learning the different scents, and then once you get familiar enough with those scents, you can you can combine the effects from those scents and you can better pair it to the right person.
Oh, yes.
You know, that's how I did it. So like certain terpenes would give you certain effects. Like Blue Dream at the time was the most popular strain out there.
I mean, it's still pretty, but it's still pretty popular.
It is, but I mean, maybe I'm just like in the wrong places, but a good Blue Dream is like harder to find these days than it was back in like 2017, 2018.
I do agree with that because I think because I've worked so much in the rec like space that buyers love Blue Dream and they don't really know if it's real Blue Dream or what.
That's interesting.
But retail loves Blue Dream. If you have it on the label, they want to be able to sell Blue Dream. Whether it really is, I don't even know if they even know, or the person who sold them might not know. Yeah, maybe they do. Yeah, but I know that it's very marketing, and I think it's because Blue Dream, Green Crack, right? Like Super Sour Diesel. Those are those strains that a lot of us grew up with. And so when you see it in those dispensaries, it like tugs on that like a little bit of a heartstring. Yeah. But then to your point, we don't know if it's real or not, right?
Yeah. And so what's interesting about all the strains that you just mentioned is that they all have like very similar scents, which is going to give you like the certain effects of creativity and like being social and being a little bit more giddy, as opposed to something that's gassy or piney or very like earthy, where it's gonna knock you out. It's gonna probably it's gonna give you that couch out. It's gonna give you the munchies. So like I said, certain scents helped me pair it well with strains, and the patients started to honestly like, I got so good at it, Susie, that I had patients waiting in lines to see me as their bud tender. I love it. Yes.
Well, I can understand
I'm not making this up. I had lines of people that would wait for me to be their bud tender because I was giving them guidance, like real guidance to maximize what they were going to buy. Right. You know? Like, I'm taking this home and I'm actually like maximizing the benefits because of your knowledge, because of your guidance and your advice. Like, it makes all the difference, as opposed to something like, oh, what do you want? There's no direction. So no, 100%. I was naturally good at that.
Well, I think it's because of how you started, though. I think if you wouldn't have started with trimming, I think it would have impacted your sense and how you feel the flower and like the way you process the information that you learned from being a bud tender. Like, I think it's the fact that you did it in that order, honestly. Yeah. And I also think that bud tenders, they're so deeply important. Like, I cannot stress this enough. You know, in the retail space, they're extremely important because they become your mini salespeople. But also, we forget that bud tenders, it's the front line of patience. We forget that cannabis is medicine sometimes, and that patience, we are patients.
Yeah.
And so when it takes a person who understands it fully, like they are prescribing it to you for your ailments, right? So it's really great that you have that kind of education that got you to this point. So you and I met a few years ago.
Yes.
So I entered the cannabis industry officially in 2019.
Okay.
And then in 2020 is when like Susie Greens was more like born. I came in hot, for those who know. I have been an advocate, a fierce advocate for the things I believe in, and I've built a following based on that. And a lot of what I've done, you know, is advocacy for women, for Latinas, for Latinos in the industry. And I think that that's taken me to a place where I've gotten to meet so many amazing people all around the world who have seen my work and who are like, let's freaking go. And so I'm really blessed that like I've been able to meet so many amazing people like yourself. I would love to kind of like go back to that time when we first met. And what do you remember from that time?
I remember we did a pop-up at Green Street. Wait, is Green Street still around? They're not around.
I don't believe so.
No, right?
Shout out to everybody from Green Street.
Yeah, that was such an amazing
It was.
place.
It was a moment in time, right?
Yeah, that was a very special place. So I think we had a pop-up. The pancakes and donuts, pizza and donuts.
Yes.
Yeah. That was so much fun too.
They had their programming.
Yeah.
They had.
Awesome.
I mean, we definitely felt at home. A shout out to everybody there. We had an office there for a hot minute, and it's just such a good time.
Yeah. So I remember the pop up. I remember you coming by, and what else were we doing that day? That was before your yoga event for sure. I remember that. That was actually why after the yoga event, I was like super like magnetized to you, because that event actually like changed my like trajectory of thinking with what my own projects, with what I was doing. I was even pushed and influenced to go a little bit bigger and harder and to have a little bit more confidence by seeing how you were doing things. So I really did. Yeah, no, absolutely. I was like, oh my God, like, wait, because like I said, these qualities are contagious. So I remember being at the yoga event with you and seeing the crowd that you brought in, seeing the girls that were there to support you and the love that they were giving you. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I want to be a part of that. How can I be in a position where I can actually like influence women the way that Susie is doing it? So I was like, it was a ripple effect after that event. I do remember that. I don't know if I've ever said that to you.
No, this is the first time you shared it to me. And I do want to share that means a lot to me on a lot of levels. I think personally it means a lot that you know I was able to do that for you, which is ultimately unlock something that was already within you, right? And I think that that's what inspiration is supposed to do for us. It's not supposed to create something that is out of thin air. It's supposed to remind you of your own power. And it's, you know, and I think when you're healed, it becomes inspiration. And when someone's not healed, that's when we get some of the mean girls out there that exist.
I love that.
And so it's honestly, the experience is the same. It's your level of maturity and healing. It's whether it's going to be inspiration or I'm upset or I don't know, I'm triggered for some reason, right? And we all deal with it, men, women, but I do feel that this warms my heart in a lot of ways because that's what it should be. Empowered women should be able to empower other women and unlock these qualities that are already within us, right?
Yeah.
Like straighten up our crowns. Like I know it's a little corny saying, but like literally like we're all queens. And if we can just be like, hey, you know, I'm going to straighten up your crown or I'm going to polish it for you or I'm going to be a mirror to show you your own crown, you know, and the fact that, you know, I was able to have that impact on you and, you know, like, I know you're having that impact on others. Thank you. That's how we create empowered women, and not only in the cannabis industry, but I think as future mother, as a mother yourself, like, I think that's what we need to focus on. And so that event was really beautiful. We brought together a lot of women. I definitely remember meeting you and loving how Mexican you were. Because as a Mexican girl myself, I'm also first generation Mexican. You know, people, we're in LA, you know, so people will be saying like, oh, I'm Mexican American, but like, Are you first gen Mexican American? Because it's different. It's different for the first gen Mexican Americans. It's just certain things, certain little nuances, certain things that we were brought up in, breaking out the Spanish sometimes. I mean, we do that already. We've done that already sometimes. Like I do that with a lot of my friends where we'll just be talking and then we'll go into the different language completely or, this and that. And we're not trying to alienate people. It's just a comfort thing. Like I'm trying to say certain things, and we've gotten to that level of our friendship where we'll be like, I know, and it's it just happened. So I think that was the first thing that I clicked with you on. I'm like, oh damn, she's girl's Mexican, like straight up. And I even have a moment when we were at Green Street. We did a takeover for Green Street. It was such a fun thing. We took over the 3rd floor, I think. We brought the mariachi, for those who know. We pulled it up. We did a whole mariachi thing. We had tamales with the bong bar, of course. And then the mariachi started playing Vicente Fernandez. And you know me, for those who know, I'd be doing those little selfie videos and I pulled up to you and then we both started singing Vicente Fernandez. So I love that clip of us. And it just showed that like those were the things that like, for me personally, like I like people that like show who they really are and aren't afraid to. So I really love that about you. But I think over time, personally, the people I end up connecting with are people who are like on the same level in terms of, look, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna crush it, but I'm gonna do my thing and I don't care what other people think. And sometimes I meet people that are on that vibe. Sometimes I don't, but I just love that you were on that vibe.
Thank you.
And here we are now getting ready for the 3rd annual Latinas in Cannabis Summit happening. Yes. Oh my God, this Saturday. We're doing our pre-episode just a few days before it happens. But this summit, you guys, like, you guys know already because you're part of the Greens Pod fam, but the Latinas in Cannabis Summit is a full day event. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. They close at 5, but we're going to be there sessioning it up, so stay with us. Panels, workshops, vendor village. We have an amazing lineup that you guys, like, I'm not even going to go down on this podcast because you guys need to check it out online. We did an amazing story on AP News. Beard Bros, shout out to the supporters, always supporting. High Times is supporting us. Green State, shout out to Rochelle. We got the entire industry all supporting Latinas right now. And it all started with one crazy idea that I had. Let's connect Latinas and see what happens. Let's connect us.
Yeah.
I started an Instagram account and I was like, let's freaking go. 5 years later, we are an international events company, the largest empowered group of Latinas in the world focused on cannabis. So shout out to you guys because we did it together.
I love that.
Yes. We did. And so the summit was born in 2023. I'm a public speaker, you know me, a yapper, but I thought, there are other people that need to be put on. And I get these opportunities, but what about other people? What if I can put people on and I don't need other people? What if we did this our damn selves? So we did it in 2023, sold out within 2 days, I believe. LA Times came out. Shout out Adam Chorn. Shout out the whole LA Times team who came out and supported us for the first annual. And that's when I was like, all right, like, we got to do this. Yeah. And there were a lot of moments during that summit where I thought, what did I just start? And conversations that were being had, tears flowing, hugs happening, people telling me that they got hired from my event, people saying that they hired at my event.
Wow.
And that business was flowing. Hey, I was able to reach this buyer. Hey, I placed this sale. And I'm like, what is going on? So here we are, year 2, right? 2024, last year, even bigger. And I'm like, what is going on here? More Latinas, more brands. Because the thing is we're everywhere in this industry. I'm never going to run out of Latinas.
Yeah.
There are Latinas around the world and we can do summits galore. So I'm so excited for the 3rd annual because you are going to be a part of it.
I am so excited.
So you are going to be our first time moderator for the Latinas in Cannabis sales panel. So you're an amazing salesperson, but this opportunity is for you to speak on your work, but also facilitate a conversation with so many amazing other women. One of those women, shout out to Marlene Urrea, she's the VP of sales for Claiborne. One of the amazing women that are going to be speakers. But what I love about Marlene is that she represents kind of that corporate, experience in cannabis, right? And so she is going to be able to speak about branding and sales on a level of the retail space, how it's changed, considering all the legalities, right? And then we have amazing other speakers like Darian Real from Planta Cannabis Co. Shout out to Planta. We love Planta over here. And then shout out to Allison Cervantes from Rove Cannabis Co. Rove brand. Shout out to JoJo. We love JoJo, woman-owned brand
love
there.
JoJo. Shout out to JoJo.
Shout out to her. That's another person that she's not Latina, but she's one of us because she's an empowered, amazing sales woman. She is one of the co-owners of Rove. She owns it with her fam. But when I first met her, same thing where I'm like,
yeah.
What I loved about JoJo, and I'm going to tell her when I have on this podcast, I've told her this before. I love that she reps out of her brand.
Yeah.
She shows up and she's dripping in Rove. That was an example that I saw from her when I first met her in like 2019. Before Mota was around when we first launched Mota.
Yeah.
I remember seeing her and she inspired me so much because she was just about it. Yeah. She's like, I'm here, I'm wearing it all and you're going to buy my shit. And you know what? Everyone buys from her because JoJo is sweet. She's kind. She's about her shit. Her product's good. You know what I'm saying?
Is amazing.
Like, let's go. And I've seen Rove grow from like being a down ass brand to being in so many goddamn states. And I see JoJo at another state, and I'm like, go JoJo.
Yeah.
So I think I went on a little JoJo rant there, but we just love empowered women. Obviously Latinas are my focus because I'm a Latina. I want to create opportunities that I didn't have, but also opportunities that I know that women should have, like straight up that we could have, that we need to have.
Yes.
And so this summit is really special. Tell us a little bit about the panel that you're going to be having in the conversation.
So my goal, and I've been thinking a lot about this, is like, because of like the digital space that we live in now and the future is digital, I really want to kind of leave an impact with what I say to the women and to the guests, is that like anyone can have a brand. Like the era of social media is literally giving all the tools to all of us to create a brand. Even if you're not trying to do something like as big as Rove or to be the biggest product brand out there, that even through like a small personal brand, that you can leave such a big impact and you can always have something to fall back on for yourself that you're going to build that no one can ever take away from you. That's my goal. Does that make sense?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I love this because it goes beyond the product.
Yes. And also, as we evolve more and more into corporate cannabis, federal regulation, taxation, it really is becoming more and more difficult to develop successful businesses. Like the mom and pop shop era is kind of dying out, unfortunately, as a corporate version of it grows more. So I do think that the loophole to kind of stay afloat of, how corporate cannabis grows is to have that personal branding where you're gonna build your community, you're gonna have your space of people that support you always, no matter what.
Yeah.
I hope that was like kind of, I'm like, is it making sense in my brain as to how I'm saying it?
No, it absolutely is, because at the end of the day, salespeople, they're not, they exist in real time, right? They're real people.
Yes.
To where when they're making the sale, it's partly the brand that they're buying, but they're also buying into your personal brand.
Exactly. Yes. So, like I work with products that a lot of people have. You have a product that a lot of people make, like bongs are everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. But your bong and your product is special because it's an extension of you.
Yeah.
It's people take home like some sort of version of your essence and your story, and they feel like they're a part of something through that.
Yep.
So
you're smoking me. When you smoke Mota, you're smoking a piece of me.
Yeah, it's representing your empowerment. It's like, if you're, you could be having a bad day and then they look over and they see like mota and then they're like, you know what? No, fuck this. Like me voy a poner las pilas, like because you feel like you're a part of that community, because you feel like there's like you're not alone. And I just feel like branding, especially in cannabis, is so impactful in that way. And so my goal with this summit and with what I talk about and share is I want people to feel like they can have something like that too. Yeah. Like it's something that's for everybody. It's not something that you need $1 million to start. It's not something that you need 1 million followers to leave an impact on. It could be the smallest little seed that can make all the difference, because that's what happened with me.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
And you're so right, because these ideas that sometimes we put on ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. I need X amount of money to do this. I need this to happen for this to happen. Like we put those limitations on ourselves. Mm-hmm. Sometimes reality tells us like, no, go for it.
Or no one's going to follow me. No one's going to like my content. So why even try? And it's like, you don't know that. Mm-hmm. You don't know that, because everyone is not you. And you never know like who is going to watch and who you can, like, it's not about the millions and millions of followers. It's about the handful of people that you actually touch.
Right.
Right. That's way more powerful than 1 million views and 100,000 followers. Like it's not about that anymore.
Yeah. And also to the whole point of like having millions of followers, like from doing influencer relations for a certain time, sometimes it doesn't quite translate to sales as much as people think. Mm-mm. It really doesn't. You'll see a creator with 100K able to pull in more because they have a direct relationship with their customers, right?
Exactly.
It's part of that personal branding.
It's that community.
And honestly, Susie Greens, we just hit 10K on the Susie Greens account.
Nice.
Thank you. Finally. Yeah. It's been at like 999 and forever. But she finally hit. And you know what? My bigger account has more than twice the following, and it's the Susie Greens that still hits. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's a private account and people see it as like, something else. But like, it's the smaller, more niche community that is always going to win. Mm-hmm. And so don't look at the followers. Look at the impact that you're creating.
Exactly. And it's interesting that you just said niche, because that's one of my the point of discussions is find your niche, find what you're good at, don't try to be good at everything, don't try to please everybody and entertain everybody, because that's going to be, you're going to make it impossible for yourself. But find your niche, find your strengths, and kind of build around that, right? So you have your niche. My niche was like the content that I was creating on like the back end of things of like, the trap life and like the packs and like the cars, the penthouses, all that stuff. But at, like that lifestyle that was up and coming at that time kind of was my niche, but it was also like my life.
Yes.
Like it was like my day to day, like we're doing this,
Yeah, no, it is. And part of like entrepreneurship is like this is what we got. This is what we got, and we're doing it, you guys, Yeah. And so I think that this panel, I want to say this panel is like one of the most, but all of them are. Mm-hmm. Like I want to say, dude, this panel always crushes it, because it does. Mm-hmm. And I've always thought like, am I going to get to a point where I retire a certain panel? I just don't see that happening to the sales panel, because every time we do this panel, there's always a way that the moderator takes it. And for those who know, I give reign to the moderator for each panel, because I want you guys to have the free reign. Remember what I told you when you were on it, is just like, I want you to have free reign to talk about your journey and craft it together, And
I love that.
Same thing for the Canamom panel. I'm really excited for that one. Mm-hmm. It's going to be moderated by Chantel Duncan Williams. She's vegan and bougie on Instagram. Shout out to her. She's just hilarious. She's also an entrepreneur. She owns a salon.
Okay.
And also is a young mom. And so she posted a video that was really powerful a few weeks ago, where she was like, it's not excuses, no excuses, basically. And she had her baby on her rebozo, on her hip. She's working out. She's cutting hair. And the baby's just chilling.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes that's another thing that we put on ourselves is, I can't do it because I'm too busy, or I can't do it because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And the thing is that she showed that like, no, I'm a mom and I'm handling it all. So I'm really excited for her to be the moderator for that conversation. She's going to take she's a powerful, I mean, all the women are like, this is going to be amazing. But that conversation is going to be very special. I'm really excited for that to happen. This year we are premiering our new panel. It's Latinas in Cannabis Education. Shout out to Alice from Girls in Green. She's going to be moderating that one. That one is all about the nuances of cannabis education. Because she is a hash expert. We also have Queenie. Shout out to Queenie the Critic coming from New York. She's also going to be focusing on more of the concentrates education. And then we have other amazing panelists who are going to be broadening it up a little bit more and talking about different aspects of education. Shout out to Sister Camila from Camila. Yes, she is coming through from Las Hermanas de Valle de Mexico. She's going to be talking about how she founded this community and is launching something. I'm not going to spoil it here, but she's going to give us a sneak peek at our dinner. We're having an amazing welcome dinner to kick off the panels that is happening on Friday. She's going to be giving us a sneak peek into a collab that they are doing. So shout out to the sisters. And yeah, Dr. Jana is also going to be part of the education panel. And then our last panel of the day is going to be our Cana Jefa panel.
I saw that.
Cana Jefa is all about entrepreneurship, leadership, C-suite employees, team members. And it's all about being at the point in your career where you're reflecting and you're looking at like, where did I go here? Where am I going to inspire the next generation? You know?
Yeah.
So the person moderating this panel is going to be Christy Kim. She's with Freedom Grow. She's an amazing CPA, owns her own business as well. She's going to take a very like action-oriented approach to this panel. So she's asking everyone to bring like notepad and pencils. So she's going to make everyone do an exercise.
Wow.
We have Thunder Viper Walker coming from Oklahoma from Proud Mary Cannabis. We also have just so many amazing panelists. I just can't wait to see them all. Shout out to Monica Garcia, Rolling with Mamacitas. That's my girl. When we talk about Latinas in Cannabis, when I first started it, I would always uplift Sue, Ranchera Mami, shout out to her. I would also uplift Rolling with Mamacitas, my girl JM. Those are like some of the first people that I ever like really kind of put up there, you know? And then also rounding out this panel, Claudia Leal from Liquid Swords and from Hollow Tips. If you've heard of Hollow Tips, we all love Hollow Tips. Shout out to Claudia. And those are all the amazing panelists that are going to be on. Not to miss our workshop leaders, which includes Amorinda Martinez. She's going to be doing our intention ceremony, intention setting ceremony.
I saw that.
Because we can't start a panels without kind of knowing, like, what are we doing here? What are we trying to get out of it? So right when doors open at 8:30 a.m., girls are going to get their coffees, roll in, and get into the spirit of what am I trying to get out of this and why am I here right now? So we're going to start off with the intention setting, go straight into the panels, and then Amorida is coming back at 2 p.m. to do an Inner Niña workshop.
I saw that too.
One thing about the Latinas in Cannabis Summit is it's not just a conference like you would see these other amazing conferences. We take a 360 approach, because if we're trying to be empowered women, if we're trying to go out there and achieve great things, how can we do it if we haven't addressed trauma? How are we going to do this if we haven't addressed the trauma that we're constantly trying to hide? Our relationships with our parents, the shame we feel at times for being a cannabis consumer and feeling like we are failing at being X, Y, and Z person. We all carry that kind of shame, and we don't like to admit that it kind of comes from our childhood. So Amorinda Martinez, she's an amazing, amazing healer. She's truly a gifted healer. She's the kind of person that you look at her and she sees your soul. Another person that when I met her, shout out to Carlos from Chicago. He brought us together. We were at Benzinga, and Carlos from Up Elevated Cocktails, he's like, Susie, you gotta meet this girl. You have to. He grabs me by the arm and he introduces me to Amorinda. Magnets. Have not been away from her since. She's one of my homegirls.
I love that.
But she's also a powerful, powerful empath. She's gonna be putting together this seminar. Guys, just get ready to cry, you know, but in a good way, because it's healing and you're going to be in community and it's a safe space for this. Get ready for this healing, and then we're going to go straight into the Cannamon panel after that and finish it off with a big sesh, all of the raffles. Guys, like, ILGM is going to be doing the workshop with Sue and Jungle K. They're having a I love to grow, Latinas love to grow lounge that they're doing. We're having freaking THC Design is going to be having their activations for doing bedazzled jars.
Oh, nice.
Packs is going to be doing engraved designs for their Packs devices. Kana is doing their totes. CBX, our main flower sponsor, they're going to be printing, get this, limited edition Latinas and Cannabis t-shirts on site.
Yes.
Bong bar, Mota glass bong bar, smoke all you want. We're having the Puffco Dab Wagon. So you can go inside the Dab Wagon, take a little seat, and try out hash from Wook Sauce Winery, Latina owned. Shout out to Alice, and also Jetty's Solventless.
Nice.
Like, you guys, like, the amount of things that you're going to be able to do, plus be able to catch speakers that are going to get you on game. Like, there are times where I think, like, the tickets should be $200.
Yeah.
Like, $300. Like, it's up there, you guys, because the gift bags on their own, like, I can't even, the gift bags. Shout out to Sluggers. Shout out to Henry's. Shout out to Alien Labs. Shout out to, there are so many brands.
That is
like, shout out to Alien Labs. They're going to be doing a really awesome raffle prize for us. Raffle prizes. The VZ. Shout out to Stores and Bickle. They are donating their VZ. I'm sure you guys have seen it everywhere. They're donating a pink one for you guys. Yes, that's one of the raffle gifts. Oh my God. Prizes. Like, I will digress because you can read about it on all the amazing press that we're seeing come through. And also, we're not done with our promo. I don't know if you've seen the Latinas and Cannabis page. Shout out to Victoria Margarita from our team. She's holding it down with all the posts, but like the energy, the energy. Have you guys seen the statements that we've been dropping of all the people supporting us? It's just, it's beyond just Latinas. It's people coming together to show up for each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I want to see.
Yeah. And even on my end, it's also kind of, we're seeing it more and more that the men are in the industry are kind of taking a step back a little bit and giving us and honoring that feminine space in the industry. I think probably more than in the past.
Yeah.
I think now they're like, we're getting more of like that recognition, and just like that, honor and space of like you girls are like, you know, the backbone of the industry, and just like finally getting more of just like those compliments of like being a female and having certain positions and doing certain things and just actually getting that positive reinforcement on it. I don't know,
right.
You know,
I honestly sense the shift as well. I've seen it because people have been celebrating men when they celebrate us, and then it makes them want to do it more. So I've seen it as like the most positive trend. Yes, celebrate women, and then you'll get celebrated for it. Don't celebrate us to get celebrated. Do it genuinely, right? But it's beautiful that we are supporting that as well. I want to shout out Blackleaf, right?
Love
because
him.
he definitely saw us at the Weed Maps event and was like, oh shit. And so he took a picture, me, Laksmi, a few other ladies, and put it up on Instagram, and the feed post too. Not the story post. He put it up on the feed and was like, badass, like ladies,
Boss
right?
babes. Yeah.
Boss babes.
It was really nice.
It really was. And that, I don't think that would have happened years ago.
I don't think
I just
so.
don't think, because if he would have done that, people would have been like, oh, you're trying to get at those women. Oh, you're trying to hit at them. He wasn't doing that. He was honestly like in awe of the power of the feminine power. He saw boss ladies and he was like, I'm going to celebrate that. In his recap, it wasn't just a post for us. It was, I don't know, it was really honest and genuine. And like to your point of like, more of that, please. So shout out to Blackleaf and First Smoke of the Day. That was really great to see, right?
Yeah.
So what are you most excited for the summit? And why should people pull up, if anything?
So I am honestly most excited to see all the girls. I want to connect with all the girls, talk to all the girls. I really feel like in those environments, I am just like the brightest and the happiest. I feel like una niña otra vez, como con mis amigas, you know,
Yep.
ahí en el chisme. And I love that. I love that feeling. So I'm really excited to have all the girls that are flying in, and the girls, like, I know Sue lives a little bit further out from
Yep.
LA, so it's a little harder to see her and hang out with her the way you and I can hang out more frequently. So
She'll be
spending
pulling
that,
up. She'll
so
she will
spending that
be.
time with her and with Alice, everybody else. And then also I'm really excited about speaking in front of people for the first time ever. It's something I've
You're gonna
never
crush it.
done. You know, it's gonna be live. It's gonna be in the moment. People
On
are gonna,
stage.
it's gonna be like there.
Yeah.
So, no edits, no cuts, just like
None.
live raw. And I'm excited to see myself perform and challenge myself, because I'm challenging myself to the max. And I'm curious to see like how it's going to develop me on a personal level. And then I'm also curious to see just like the connections that can come from it, and, you know, like all the girls and everybody that's going to be there. So
Honestly,
I'm excited for that.
magic happens.
Yes.
It goes by at like a blink of an eye.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where content, that's why we have so much content.
Mhm.
Shout out to Stoner Shenanigans
Yeah.
and their whole team. They're going to be doing all the content. Shout out to Lydia, who's also going to be doing our personal content.
Mhm.
So we do have an Airbnb, Latinas and Cannabis Content House. And so we're going to be doing tons of content. So all you guys out there, make sure to keep an eye out, because it's going to be Latinas
It's
and
always
Cannabis till the
fun.
end of
Yeah,
the year.
it's
Let's
always
be
fun.
honest.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
is what it is. But make sure to grab your ticket. It's available at latinas-cannabis.com. And I just cannot wait. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of
And anything you want to
course.
drop, let people know, let us know.
Oh, you asked why should people pull up? So I think that this event, first of all, and for me, it doesn't just have to be for girls in the industry. I think it's for all women from all walks of life, even stay-at-home moms that are like looking for something fun to do on a Saturday morning, or girls who are curious about the vendors or curious about having any type of conversation relative to the industry. I think those are the people that should come. I don't want people to feel like because they're not in the industry that they can't come and hang out and meet us. Like, no, that's even more of a reason for you to come out and see what the community is about. So, yeah.
You're so right. And it's not that you have to be a Latina in cannabis in the industry to come.
Yes.
Like anybody can come.
Yes.
You can just be, and to be completely honest, we have some people who buy tickets who are like, I'm here for the gift bag. I heard them gift bags are popping. And so that's true.
Do you?
But the thing is they come for the gift bag and like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then you end up staying for hours.
Mhm.
So no matter the reasons that you come, stay and support the other women. We got so much to see. It's like Disneyland of like Latinas and Canada. Come on, you guys.
I know.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
So I just cannot wait. I need to go shopping. I need to do all my things, the outfits, get ready. We're gonna go ahead and sign off with another bong rip. But thank you guys so much for joining us for
Thank you,
episode 11 with Laxmi.
Gracias.